I recognize the value that LinkedIn has had in my life, in my personal journey, coming from Nigeria as an international student, and how far I have come in the few years that I've been in the UK. And I thought that this was a really great thing the student circles was doing, to share this opportunity with other international students like me. And I think for everyone who's listening to this conversation, one common theme that has run across the earlier submissions of myself, Danny, and Naeem is the fact that we all had similar approaches to what we thought LinkedIn was. There's that early, would I say, disenchantment. I'm not sure this platform is for me. I think I need to be of a certain level, before I use this platform. But what you will find out is that that is not the case, that it's a platform for everyone, and that is what it has been for me. I think one of the first things that I did, like I mentioned earlier on, was that when I had that guest lecturer come talk about how we can use LinkedIn to boost our career, it was a game changer for me. The first thing that you can do as an international student, is to connect with even your lecturers on LinkedIn, because the way the LinkedIn works is there are various levels of connections. So the people that you have accepted their connections, or they have accepted yours, they are like your first network, and then their own networks become like the second, the networks of those people, so it's just like a chain of professionals on this platform. Now, why is it important? The way I think about social media, and thankfully we are all most of us here are students. We've all experienced this, where a teacher asks a question in class, right? And the person who gets to answer the question is he or she who raises their hand up, right? And then a lot of us have been caught in that situation where you knew the answer to that question, but you were either shy, to raise your hand. And if you went to the kind of primary school that I went to, usually when you got the question right, the teacher would say, give him a round of applause, and everyone would clap. And most of us felt that level of, would I say, jealousy or envy that we weren't the one who were clapped for. It's the same thing on social media. What social media does, especially LinkedIn, is gives you visibility, makes you visible to the people that matter, especially LinkedIn, if you're not active there, then you don't get seen, and you don't get the rewards similar to that round of applause that we got as kids in primary school. You don't get that visibility from recruiters or from companies, and you don't also have access to those adverts, when they are done. So I would say that the first thing to do as an international student, whether you haven't used LinkedIn at all, is most of your lecturers are on LinkedIn. Get connecting with them. Your classmates are on LinkedIn. Get connecting with them. That would expose you to their own connections, and then you can build upon that.
For those, very similar to what Martin said, for those international students who are maybe just starting off, it's really important for them to be engaging with people that they know. First of all, it's all about building those connections up. First of all, there's this magic number, I think, of 50 connections. Once you've got to 50, you've got then a springboard to take that to the next stage or the next level. So when I speak to my international students and they're only just starting out, or maybe they've only got about 5 or 10 connections, it's really important to be connected with people that you know, first of all. So as Martin said, your academics, so your lecturers, but also your friends, your family, because they've got your back. They've always got your back anyway. And your fellow students, and of course the careers team. So don't forget, we as a service, Danny, myself, and other members of our teams and other careers teams are also quite active or proactive on the platform as well. So that's the first stage. The next stage then, as again Martin said, it's all about taking advantage of, say, my connection. So maybe Martin is connected to me, which we are now. However, Martin can take advantage of my connections. So it's all about using those first degree connections to then network with your second degree connections. And that can be easily done through the platform as well. So that's the advice that I would certainly give. And then once you're comfortable with that, that's when you make that outreach to potential employers.